get the ball outside, and they're going to have to throw the ball to Saunders if they want him to
Folks,
get the
now
ball
here's the draws and traps. That's what we always look for when we want excitement. I want Barry Sanders to explode. Hey, listen, take me to a couple of highlights here, Dick, and tell me what we got.
The only touchdown of the game, you know, execution is really important. And Bennett here, the fullback, leads through and gets the key block at the point of attack, right side of your screen. You'll see Bennett right there, gets low underneath the linebacker Johnson. That gives him that little cushion to bounce into the end zone standing up. Good job.
Now, I think the key thing defensively, and you pointed it out early, is what the Packers are doing with Reggie White.
Well, they don't know. Detroit does not know where he's going to line up. Detroit likes to run to their left, defensive right. They're playing Reggie over on the right side a lot, then to the left, but back to the right. And he is a devastating power rusher. And if you aren't used to playing on him, you are in trouble. And here is what I'm talking about. 92, left center of your screen. Sean Bowen, 66. He sets. He's doing the best he can. And there's the most powerful man playing football in the National Football League. Takes him right back to the quarterback. Then he gets out of the hold and forces the sack when he gets some help. Reggie White, the best of all time.
So high praise indeed for number 92 by Dick Vermeil.
It's the best I've ever seen. He is the best I have ever seen. And I'm not as old as you, maybe, but, but I've
no
seen
maybes about that.
I've seen Deacon Jones, Merlin Olsen, all these guys.
Now,
and there's a guy. And there's a guy.
Say he's the best.
He might very well be, but right now he's not getting the opportunity to prove it. He needs some help. They've got a fine offensive coaching staff. They will come up with things here in the second half that they can move the ball with.
Well, let's see if the Lions can get a lift from Mel Gray and the second half kickoff. He's done it many a time. Gray looking for an alley. Gray swings to the outside. Gray run out of bounds, and if ever there was a time that the Lions needed a spark from Gray, that was it. A 38-yard return. Leslie, what do you got for us?
Brent, Wayne Font said they are simply overwhelming us at the line of scrimmage. He said we're going to have to open it up. A lot of short, quick passes to start the second half. As for Mike Holmgren, he said, well, they're probably pretty happy with what they've done defensively. He said we've done a great job on Barry Sanders by cutting off the edges and pursuing them on the backside. Brent?
Yeah, Leslie, and while you were talking to the coaches, Jason Hansen trotted out, attempted a few more field goals from that spot that has been troubling him down there. So the Lions now will see if they can climb back in this. Barry Sanders has been throttled, and there's Craig. Just what they told Leslie. First down, Perriman, and Buckley had the coverage incomplete.
Do you notice how Buckley did not turn and look back for the ball as the ball was coming down and the receiver turned back? He told me that's getting him in trouble with the new rules that you can't touch him or anything like that. He said, I have to quit looking back and just concentrate on powering my way into that receiver. And he did look back at the last second there. Good job of playing defense.
2nd and 10 for the Lions. Aubrey Matthews is out to the left along with Perriman. Perriman is the slot man, and then Matthews comes in motion, and now Craig will look in that direction, back over the middle, and he's got Matthews, and Matthews is inside the 35-yard line.
See, that time David Craig was allowed to get back, set up inside, set firm, allow the pattern to develop, and throw it in time. If you do that, he's going to throw the strike. See, no pressure up inside. The rush came around to the outside. They did a good job of doubling up Reggie inside. See, the time they gave him in there, that allowed that pattern to develop. Good job by David Craig and the offensive line.
The ball inside Green Bay's 35-yard line. Now they'll come back and see if there's anything doing. And Barry dances for a couple of yards as we take a look at the numbers from the first half. No surprise here. The Packers have been absolutely dominant in this football game.
Absolutely no surprise. Look at this, 59 to 196. Time of possession +9. You should be ahead by more than 10 points. Detroit 3 plays and out, all except on the 1 4-play drive. That's a long drive. And then the 7-play drive there with the missed field goal.
Herman Moore, 1 catch in the first half, comes in motion. Craig looks down the left side. However, Matthews, Gray out of bounds, only 1 foot in bounds. The official was right there, points to the spot. The spot was at the 8-yard line, and that official was all over it.
He was all over it. I was looking right down at it, Brent, and I thought he got them both down. Too bad. Here's Aubrey Matthews right there. 1 down, 2 down. He got both down, Brent.
You can see better up here than he did right there. He had, didn't he have the other foot down when he made the catch?
Yes, he did. He had both down. All right.
Nothing to be sorry about. You're right, Coach. You're right on it.
That's all right, Wayne. That doesn't matter. Jesus, for heaven's sakes.
Third down at 9. And now Craig under pressure is buried.
Sean Jones, a great pass rusher, came in here with 99 sacks, and he shows why he has 99 sacks. He just kept coming.
Despite the hold, he kept coming.
Despite the hold. See, with the turf not being slippery, the defensive ends can line up wide and come around and bend inside, maintain their feet, and keep coming, and that's just what he did. Right side of your screen, coming right to the outside. See, bends out fast. He's working around outside. He's on a tight end right there, and he crawls right underneath him. Good job. Rodney Holman was holding him.
And here's Montgomery in to punt. Brooks and Pryor are now back deep. They've been kicking to the side, so they'll use a double return man, and this time Montgomery powers it on into the end zone. So Brett Favre will be coming out with his first possession of the second half.
Oh, yeah, Aubrey Matthews coming down with the ball right now. 1 foot down right there. 1 down, the right foot down. Now, come the other foot. There's the other one. That ain't even close.
And he had possession.
Yeah.
So it is 1st and 10 for the Green Bay Packers, coming out from their own 20-yard line. Here's Edgar Bennett sweeping over to the left, and he's tackled by Mike Johnson, number 59. We'll take a look at the possession chart. The only touchdown that we've had in this game was the first drive when Favre and the Packers went 76 yards, 14 plays, and look at the rest of it. They finally kicked a field goal, and that was on the almost second to last series of the first half after Jackie missed his first attempt. Now 12:20 to go here in the third quarter. 10-0. Packers shutting the Lions out. And it'll be Favre.
I dropped it. Morgan dropped that.
Favre pass intended for Morgan. Incomplete. 3rd and 8. Ball remains on the Packer 22.
Mike Holmgren with his offensive design doesn't spread a defense from sideline to sideline like you see a lot of other people doing. He keeps them a little more bunched together so he can attack a specific area quickly with 3 receivers, and that's what he was trying to do right there. Got the little hole he wanted. They actually used that running game, a passing game rather, for like a running play. Here they're spreading them out.
And they'll throw a little motion at him. Mickens slides out. He's the motion receiver. Got the ball. And he is out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Terry Mickens, a rookie from Florida A&M.
See, that time he spreads them out, then takes the wide receivers and moves them inside, pushes the defense off, just throws a very short pass, moves the chains. See, high efficiency throwing.
17 yards. Favre playing without his go-to guy, Sterling Sharp, who will not return for the balance of the playoffs. Probably will undergo surgery, and we can only wish him the best. They will fuse the 2 vertebrae in the back of his neck. And now Bennett sweeping to the left, turns in beautifully to the 45-yard line, made 6 yards in ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the NFC wildcard game, brought to you by Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sport Sedan. Red Dog beer, bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog. And Microsoft, the leader in software. Where do you want to go today? 11:15, third quarter. 10-0. Packers shutting the Lions out. 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard run on a fake. Favre rolling out to the right, steps inside. Now bluffs the defense, and he's short of the first down. He's hit at the 49 by Johnson.
See, they did a real good job on that bootleg action of taking the pattern as a crossing pattern. He wanted to throw the tight end right here on the crossing pattern. This guy sits and then comes out late. He's covered. He's covered. He has to keep the football. Good job of defense. Good discipline. The linebacker picks him up there. Freeze it right there. You see that right there? Spielman's got him locked up. No one to throw to.
Dorsey Levens, who scored the game only touchdown, checks in. He'll be offset to the right along with Bennett.
He's the big blocking guy. 235 pounds, best blocker in the backfield.
3rd and short. Levens leads the way. Bennett turns inside of him for the first down.
Came off the ball real strong on the right side of the offensive line. Levens did an okay job of kicking out, but the offensive right tackle, Sims, and tight end came off the ball firmly. When you come off the ball this way, knock people back. See, they get up there, they knock the linebacker back. Levens gets his block at the point. You can turn back up inside. And old Eddie West, number 86, true veteran, 31 years old, been playing a long time. He gets a good block at the point.
Now Reggie Cobb checks in, and he and Bennett are split backs. And on first down, Favre's going to throw it again. In trouble, moves to the left. He'll keep it and go out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
See, this is what he would not do last year, will not do very often. He would not just run out of bounds. He's so competitive that he's continually wanting to try to make a play.
One of the Packer blockers down, and one of the Lions assistant coaches took a pretty good wallop on that far side too, didn't he? Tried to make the stop over there. So we'll take a break. It's 10-0 Packers.
It was just injured, number 68. Freeze it right there. Now you'll see he's going to get blocked, or a man's blocked into his right leg, and it's caught in there. Don't believe it's serious. He walked off the field under his own power, but he is lucky.
2nd and 8 for Favre, but the Packer attack stands in the middle and fires. That's going to be very close to the first down. Chris Spielman making the spot on the receiver, who is one of his tight ends.
Mark Chmura has come on strong this year toward the end of the season. Eddie West has had a bad ankle, who's their starting tight end, and Mark has come on and done a good job. He can also get down the hole, not like a Jackie Harris used to get down the hole, but he can get down the hole.
Now it's 3rd and short. Ball is at the Detroit 37-yard line, so Spielman better get ready. Bennett is the running back. Take it outside, and it's going to be real close. I think he may have been short. It was Spielman who came back over to that side to make the play.
He is really something special, this guy. In preparation, he's in the office at 6:30 in the morning studying tapes, works extremely hard. He's upset if somebody else isn't working hard. A real leader on and off the field. Just loves to play the game the way it ought to be played. Top middle of your screen, number 54, working inside out, keeps his pads there. He stays behind the ball carrier so he cannot cut back on him, prevents the first down. They're going for it.
Yes, and Levens checks in again. He was not in the backfield. Remember, he's the lead blocker, so he'll lead Bennett this time, and Bennett is stood up. They went to the Levens side. The Lions read it perfectly that when number 25 came on the field, they were going to follow his block with Bennett. They stacked it up, and again Spielman went to work.
Excellent defense that time. As you used the term, stacked it up. See, they didn't get any movement, Brent, and they couldn't get up there. No cushion. You can't cut back. You can't get outside.
So Detroit takes over on downs. We'll be right back. Broadcast. We asked Dick Vermeil, how will they replace Sterling Sharp on the Green Bay side of the ball? He told us, and they have done it fairly well. But we never expected Barry Sanders to be taken out of the Detroit attack like he has been here today. And if the Lions are to climb back in it, you would have to think that number 20 is going to have to step up and start making some plays. Craig is going to throw it on first down, deep down the right side. Moore with one catch, grabs one, and he's down at the 26-yard line.
Great timing. Great timing. Of course, that great 7'2" leaping ability as a high jumper, but he just timed that perfectly. And Evans, Doug Evans, who's covering him, didn't get the same type of leap. Look at that great time. 1 foot in, the other foot in. There he goes. Herman beat him for a touchdown last time. Take a look at the reverse angle, right side of your screen. Look at this young man leap. Wow. Good timing. Good.
Only their 4th first down, and more now comes in motion to the left side, and now Barry Sanders stacked up again by the defensive front, and Sean Jones, who's meant quite a lot to this franchise.
He wants a little applause there.
Now, here's the lowest rushing totals of his career. And you can see we are working on the all-timer right now. Amazing. Yeah. But you know, great ones, you never know when it's coming. Let me tell you. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Craig releases Barry as a receiver. He'll use him now, and he is out of bounds at the 27-yard line, his first catch of this game.
He wanted to throw backside away from the action to the tight end, Ty Hollick, and they had him covered all the way. It was one of those trick plays. It either works or it doesn't. It didn't work. Good defense.
You know what's interesting? If they don't convert here, Jason Hansen is coming out to his trouble spot. But keep in mind that this time they're on the right hash mark. Jason may get a rematch.
Are you trying to psych him out from up here?
No, not me. I love these kickers. Craig and the Lions, though, will attempt to move it. They'll swing the ball to Barry. Sanders one-on-one, and he will not get the job done. Wayne Simmons.
Wayne Simmons, first-round pick a year ago. He was banged up in training camp, missed part of the year. They thought he'd be the starting outside backer. They thought Bryce Pop would play inside. It didn't happen. Bryce Pop moved to the outside. Simmons proves he can play by making a good one right there.
I won't tell you, Coach, because it's the other hash mark. I will make Jason the favorite on this 38-yarder. But this, folks, is the distance that has troubled him. Montgomery, seeing that he's ready, puts it down. He had to get in a hurry.
Yep.
He's got this one, and boy, that's
a bad hold, too. That was a bad hold.
Well, I'm not so sure the snap was very good. Now, I don't want to blame Montgomery before we see where that center was, but you're right. He had trouble getting it back down.
It was back into his belly. Greg did a good job of getting it down. No, it's a good snap. He just didn't catch it. Took it all the way to his body.
Yeah, you're right.
He just didn't get it down properly. Let it get through his hands.
But he
normally a kicker will miss that.
Loves the right hash mark. So even though they've been badly outplayed, they're only one big play out of getting in this one. And one of the up-backs to the 26, that's Dorsey Levin. It's number 25, the blocking back. And a reminder that tonight you can bring in the new year on ABC at 8 Eastern, the ABC Family Movie. Invite your family to a wedding Flintstone style, a Yabba Dabba Doo, followed by the Commish. And stick around for ABC's annual New Year's Rockin' Eve, all tonight on ABC.
Yabba Dabba Doo. You sound like you watch that program.
Oh, no, don't start that with. Now there's Dave Craig.
He's coaching. He's coaching. He's going to get the ball to Herman Moore. You watch. That guy has been in this game for so long and so effective. Got to visit with him a little the other day, and he knows what's happening. Look at this. 24 to 14.
First down. There's a fake now, and Favre throws back to Brooks. That's his 3rd catch of the game inside the 45-yard line with a first down. Ryan McNeil makes the stop, but it's a 20-yard gain. Green Bay.
And that's really tough against those zone coverages because you can cross through those zones, find yourself a little hole, and he snaps it to you. Action going one way, receiver coming the other way. Here he comes, Brooks across. He came in motion to shorten the time that it takes him to get across the field. Spielman tries to pick him up. Look at him catch that ball with his hands.
Cobb in motion out of the backfield. Favre is sacked at the 46. That's the first sack by Detroit, and it is Tracy Scroggins who will get credit for that.
Good pressure. He wanted to throw the seam pattern back to his left side. It was there, but he just didn't get the time. It's his turn to throw under pressure. Craig has been doing it. He pumps left, and here comes Prochet, and here comes Scroggins off that left side. Yeah, darn near fumbled it.
2nd and 17 after the 7-yard loss on the sack. Brooks is slotted off to the right. Favre looking in that direction. Got him again and out of bounds.
Man-to-man coverage. Man-to-man coverage. And you see the use of his hands that time, Brent? Real soft hands. Fine young receiver. Not a Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp is so strong. Maybe the strongest physical guy, upper body. He weight trains with the linebackers. But this guy has a gift. Those real soft hands. There's the guy that has the total package. Looks like blitz coverage. Yeah, they're coming after it.
On 3rd and 9, Favre throws incomplete, and he had Anthony Morgan open.
Well, Kelvin Pritchard, 94, got the pressure on him and knocked him down. But like you said, Anthony Morgan was open. He got the blitz coverage, the man-to-man coverage, no free safety. Exactly what he wanted. Just didn't handle the protection. Offensive line starting to break down here in the 3rd quarter. And there's Mr. Sharp. You know, he adds a lot to a pattern. Just little individual experience things he takes and incorporates in a pattern run against a specific defender that other people can't do.
Hendrick punting for the Packers.
Nice job. He really got it up there.
Gray, fair catch. He'll bluff that one and hope it doesn't go in the end zone. And it is down around the 10-yard line. There's a penalty flag is thrown. Almost threw the penalty flag at where it should be spotted. Instead of, don't they supposed to throw the beanbag when something like that happens? Oh, you know, they're saying personal foul down there. Lane just repeated it to the head linesman.
Personal foul on the return team. Number 23 signaled, then blocked. Half the distance to the goal line, first down.
Boy, Mel Gray, you know, he's got all the experience in the world. You would not think a veteran would make that kind of a mistake.
Exactly. Timeout. Cheap. But remember, if the punt had bounced the other way, the Packers might have had a chance to down it inside the 5. So the official is forced to make that call.
Just shouldn't call it a personal foul.
I agree.
You know, a light touch, you could call it, you know, but not a personal foul.
Regardless, because of the penalty, the Lions must start inside their own 5-yard line. You're watching from behind Barry Sanders, who has been throttled today. Craig, incomplete, and he expected Perriman to run a sideline pattern.
A little hitch, and he didn't run it. You know what surprises me in studying the tapes? Detroit versus Green Bay, last time they played, Detroit wins. They ran a draw play to the left side that was extremely effective. One of them he broke for 62 yards. They haven't run it today. Why not go back and run what was so super a few weeks ago? That good left-hand side draw play. I bet you it averaged 25 yards of play with Barry last time out.
So Reggie White slips over to that left tackle spot. Craig gets it into Barry's hands, and Barry battles for maybe a 1-yard loss. George Coombs was working on him on that side.
Lomas Brown, one of the finer offensive tackles, doing a good job of pass protection. And this guy is the lightest offensive tackle playing in football, I bet, right now. There he is, 75. Anshan Jones, he sits there firm. He wants to get there. 2 All-Pros battling each other. He weighs 260 pounds. He looks like a tight end. He really does. But he says he's had a knee problem, and it helps him to play a little bit lighter.
3rd down and 11. Craig from his own end zone in trouble, throws back to Holman, and Holman to the 13-yard line, and just short of a first down. The Lions are forced to punt.
Very good tackling by Doug Evans and Corey Harrison, those guys getting in there and preventing that first down. Big play right there. They're going to get the ball back in good field position.
The key to that play is the fact that it gave Montgomery some punting room. He'll now hit this one outside of the end zone.
He has a long 64. It'd be a good time to get it as long as he gets it up there in hang time.
Brooks standing back at midfield.
That's not a good one.
Late fair catch signal at the 46-yard line, and a reminder that tomorrow night, bring in 1995 with a special hour of America's Funniest Home Videos, followed by a brand new Lois and Clark. Then the world premiere movie, A Dangerous Affair, all tomorrow night, right here on ABC. Well, the Packers playing with a short field this time, and 2:13 to go. They lead it by a touchdown. The only touchdown we've had in this game is on Green Bay's first drive of the afternoon. Now there's some Packer backers. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, I didn't think he came to the game.
First and 10. Here's the hand to Bennett. You know, I don't want to get too personal, but my son Scott was getting ready to switch his allegiance from the Cowboys to the Eagles, and I think you just ruined the chance.
You read. I know he loves to come to the game here because he made that one trip this year to come to the game. And Lions have come back a little bit here in that third quarter. Remember what it was at halftime? They're up to 124 total now.
Second down now for Favre and the Packers.
Audible. He looks, sees blitz coverage.
Hit on the release, but he has got Brooks, and Brooks driven out of bounds at the 16. But here, folks, is a quarterback showing you what it's like in the National Football League. Under pressure on a safety blitz from Vinny Blades, Favre hangs in till the last instant, knows that he's going to get buried, and on the release, he picks up Brooks.
Blitz here. Everybody's coming. He's on McNeil to the right, runs a little corner pattern out there. If they get it to him, good audible, good game planning by Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator. They don't call them any audibles, only when it can help them, and this one's a big one that helps them. Nicely thrown right on the money. Almost lost it.
Now, Brett Favre had trouble with a shoelace, and the Packers have called a timeout as the result of it. He was trying to tie the shoe, get up to the huddle, and he saw that the clock had run down too far, and he used up a timeout.
You know, in talking to Steve Mariucci, the quarterback coach of Brett Favre, that, you know, Brett, people will say that he has hot feet. He jumps around too much in the there, and he looks a little bit shaky, but he says that's not the fact at all. He's just so competitive. He's just so competitive that he wants to make the big play all the time. So he's continually fighting to get away from the rush to make the play downfield.
I want to go back to this reception. Brooks had control of this. He
One
did.
down, two
and
down.
Now he's losing the ball. It was almost a fumble as McNeil got back on him, and Brooks was able to cover up the ball going out of bounds.
Yeah.
So some good strength by the wide receiver of the Packers that time. And I think in one of those replays, you saw Favre take the shot. It was Blades who was delivering the blow when he hit the quarterback. Hit him so hard he untied his shoe.
Knocked him out of his shoes. That's the way he likes to play football, though, Brett does. He's a tough son of a gun. He is so much better a player this year than he is.
Now the Packers will try to keep this going. They lead it by 7, 10-3. Here is Bennett into the middle of that defense and nothing doing.
Real battle going on over there with Ken Rutgers blocking the defensive end. Rutgers is having his best year, or a very, very good year. Number 75, the big offensive tackle you see to the right corner of your screen. Talk to the coaches about him. They, too, said he had a real good year. Good technique, good, he stayed healthy all year and is blocking well at the point of attack.
What would you think about using down here, Dick?
Well, they like the crossing patterns down here.
Here's Favre, waits for the cross. There, incomplete, and it is dropped by Anthony Morgan. And ladies and gentlemen, when you don't have Sterling Sharpe, you do lose a go-to guy. There's no question about it.
He took his eyes off the football. He's all ready to run. Plus, when you're running a crossing pattern, a shallow cross, you're in front of linebackers. So you're thinking about getting that ball caught. Here he is coming underneath. See it zone. They turn him loose. He's underneath. Concentrate on his head. See that? See that head turn? See, he's got to look that thing all the way in and get it tucked away. And Morgan, look, he's there.
Third down. Two receivers are to the left. And Favre coming over to the right side. Can't get anybody free on this side. He's out of the pocket. That's not intentionally grounded. Doesn't matter that Bennett was tied up defensively. And now Favre is getting into it.
That's not smart. That's not smart.
That's Broderick Thomas and Brett Favre.
And Edgar Bennett's involved in it too. Guys, back away. Nobody can afford to get thrown out of a football game.
Now keep in mind that the officials in the league have talked about, remember that fight down in Atlanta involving Deion Sanders and Andre Rison? They think both of them should have been thrown out of the game. So these guys better avoid standing toe-to-toe. And I guess the question I would have is, why was Favre upset with Thomas? Did he hit him late?
I don't know, but Mike Holmgren, the head coach, was upset too, coming off the sideline. He was upset about something.
Now let's watch.
There's the down the ball. Oh yeah, that is late. This is Broderick Thomas right there, and then Favre comes up to talk to him there about it. He says, I don't like that. Take that.
Well, we said earlier today that Brett Favre played this game like a linebacker, and that was the reaction of a linebacker. There are very few quarterbacks who will come up behind a linebacker, push him, grab him by the face mask, and say, don't do that again, pal.
Well, in the referee's meeting, officials meeting last night, we specifically asked about that. You're allowed one step. He took more than one step when he shoved him.
Chris Jackie with a 32-yarder nails his second field goal.
We still got some people that want to fight.
And there are a couple of Packers surrounded down there around the 15-yard line. And now several of their teammates run back out. Well, it's playoff time, and suddenly the passions are starting to bubble just a little bit. Green Bay leads it by 10, 13-3, 11 seconds to go. I wonder if the Lions are frustrated at how their superstar, Barry Sanders, has been stopped.
Well, I still can't believe they haven't run the best play they ran against them last time, the draw plays, because he can find daylight on a draw play. Yes, you've got to hold 1 point or maybe 2 points, but if you get people upfield, then he can break up underneath them. Mike Holmgren was upset. I saw him come off the sideline right away on that play. That's why I thought there was something going on down there. But I'll tell you this, you can take a guy like Sanders and have him hold him in tow for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, out he comes. And then that fires up everybody else, offensive linemen, everybody. But the defense has actually played good enough to keep him.
Now, watch as Favre releases, and Broderick, as Dick told you, taking one more step, and then with meaning pushed him down, and that's why Favre objected to the way he was handled. He first looked to see if the penalty flag had been thrown by Lane, and it had not. Of course, if Lane was a quarterback of Missouri, he used to run the option all the time. He used to get hit all the time.
Here's Broderick.
He's a strutter.
Yeah.
Now,
there's Mr. Dangerous.
Mr. Belgray back there. See what he can do now to light a fire.
Well, he's done it 6 times. He's returned it to distance, Brett. Not many people have done it that many times.
Short and high. To the right from the 14-yard line. Slips on that first step. Now he's got an alley. Now he can explode to the right. He's across midfield. Jackie to beat. He'll get around him. And now he is finally forced out of bounds by Tim Houck. The young man from Montana gets over and saves a touchdown. A 68-yard return by Mel Gray. As the third quarter comes to an end, watch Gray, a little misstep, and now it opens up on the right side. And 24, Houck, you will see him in pursuit. He eventually is going to get over behind Jackie and get him out of bounds. Back with the final 15 minutes after a word from our ABC stations.
Upfield and off he goes. Little subtle moves, and he continues to go upfield. Nobody does it any better.
And now the Lions will attempt to cash in on that return. The ball inside the 20-yard line. We start the fourth quarter, 13-3. Packers with the lead. Craig's been throwing on first down. This time they come back with Sanders on a run. Sanders breaks it outside and lives, and he's thrown out of bounds at the 16 by Leroy Butler.
Boy, it looked like he was almost going to have the Sanders breakout play that time, but the defense kept coming. They didn't come to balance and wait. They kept coming all the way to the line of scrimmage, all the way to the sideline. And what Fritz Shurmur told me about the sideline, they're ignoring the sideline. They are not using it as a tackler. They're not counting the sideline as a 12th man. They say, we have to have somebody wider than him regardless of the sideline.
Now it's second down for the Lions.
They've got to get the ball to Herman Moore.
They press the receivers, and Craig throws incomplete. Perriman looking for interference from Buckley. Not going to get the call, and he is outraged about that.
Well, they used Herman as a decoy, running a little delay pattern underneath and tried to run the quarter pattern in behind him to Perriman. That's good design offensively, but good coverage by Terrell Buckley.
The Lions do not want to make a big mistake right here.
Here's the throw. You'll see it. A tight coverage to the left side of your screen. Good coverage right there. Yeah, you can't call that pass interference.
Now it's Craig. Gets one-on-one more, and Moore's got it. Touchdown, Detroit.
They have to get the ball to Herman. Flag down.
Two of them. Personal foul.
They were doubling Reggie White on that play, too. Look at Wayne Fontes. I cannot believe it.
Now let's wait for Lane to sort this out. The personal foul was indicated.
Holding.
Holding, offense, number 66. Personal foul, roughing the passer, blow to the head, number 99 on the defense. Penalties offset, replay the down, third down.
Say this, they better cover Herman Moore again, because they can't cover him by themselves.
Well, take a look now at roughing on Craig, and this is Davey.
Yeah, that's not smart football. Here he is, a four-time academic All-American in college, making a dumb move.
3rd and 7, and Moore comes back out to the right side, and this time they get Evans over on him.
They've got to roll the coverage to him. They better not go single line.
Off a fake, Craig looks back. He's got Holman. Holman inside the 5-yard line for a 1st and goal.
Excellent call by Dave Levy. See, they got the 2 wide receivers out there. They double them up, short and long, tight coverage. They go to the inside receiver there. Reggie White coming, just driving the offensive lineman back in there. He flushes him, but David Craig maintains concentration and comes up with a big play. Nice job by David Craig. No substitute for experience, throwing to experience.
And here's a development for you as Barry Sanders stays in with the ball 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. Frequently, as Lion fans are well aware, they'll change that package. Craig's going to throw out of that formation incomplete.
You know, the funny thing is, not the funny thing, but on that last play to Rodney Holman, Herman Moore had him beat over on the corner the other way. He is really a special receiver. I can't understand why he's not in the Pro Bowl.
They were looking for Anthony Carter over there on Buckley. They thought they could beat Buckley with Anthony Carter. It's interesting, those two hooked up down in Orlando this summer in a skills contest, and there they are again.
Green Bay's having a hard time getting their coverage call right. They're coming with a blitz.
Looking there again, and they cross over, and this time they've got the touchdown, and they get it into the hands of Brett Perriman. And now there's trouble over there on the far side. Now the flags are going to come down. George Teague was the defensive back, and he seems to be saying right now, if you want more of me, let's go. And that's not the thing to be saying right now.
Wide receiver on a safety. The wide receiver should be able to beat him. I wonder if they're calling the fact that he spiked the ball right by the defender. Tight one-on-one bump and run coverage, inside slot man breaking to the corner.
Number 80 on the offense. 15
Nicely.
yards will be on the kickoff.
Now we'll stay with it because they're where it is. You see, Teague was down, and Perriman spikes the ball at his feet and then barks at him, and this is why the flag was thrown. So the touchdown counts. That's the important thing for Lion fans right now to note. There's no question about that. It's going to be assessed on the kickoff, and that's important on that kickoff. Now with Hansen, this extra point would pull the Lions to within 3. So the second half, we've had a little more flavor, haven't we, folks? And they're saying, just calm down, just play the game. A lot of time left. Here's the meaning of the Perriman foul. Jason Hansen is putting the ball down on the Lions' 15-yard line. This means that Green Bay could wind up playing with half a field right now.
Brent, my experience in this kind of a kickoff situation as a coach, normally for some reason the return team gets a better return than they normally get. The coverage team does not do as good a coverage job.
Now there are Jordan and Harris, Dick, and they're standing at the 20-yard line.
Talk about shortening the field.
That could not have come at a worse time for Detroit. They had pulled to within 3 after the extra point was kicked after the foul, of course. But now let's see what happens.
That's a good high kick. That has good hang time.
Harris from the 30-yard line. Harris to the 47-yard line. And going again.
That's stupid. Get back on the bench and play football. Going back to that touchdown play, a delay to the outside to shorten the field, bring the defender in. Here we've got a one-on-one situation. Wide receiver on safety. They're blitzing people, so there's no help. Isolation, one-on-one. Sticks him to the inside, throws it to the outside. Perfect throw. He makes a dumb move right here. He gets up. He's going to be a little bit of a hot dog. He's going to throw the ball down right at him, say, I beat you. Dumb play.
So Perriman now, even though he made a fabulous catch on the ball, has given the Packers, has helped give them good field position, and they hit with the slant right away to Brooks. And let's go down now to Leslie for a report on the incidents down on the field. Leslie?
Brent, emotions are really running high down here. Wayne Fontes is complaining to the officials, saying that this type of thing has been going on the Packers side of the bench, and why haven't they noticed that? It took a couple players to calm Perriman down. We'll see what happens, Brent.
All right, Leslie, and the first play of the game gives Green Bay, or I should say of this series, gives them a first down inside Detroit's 40-yard line now. Favre and the Packers on the move again. Aided to a great extent by that 15-yard penalty. Favre getting good time and incomplete. Cobb, the intended receiver,
actually threw that ball a little bit too hard. If you throw that a little softer, the running back can adjust to that football. That one thrown like that, only one place to catch it. He didn't make the play. You know, I've been impressed. Every time I look up, I see that Robert Porcher. Here's what I'm talking about. This ball coming right. He really, look at how hard he throws that thing. That thing is really zipping. Well, he should make the catch, yes. But if he takes just a little off of that, then the running back can adjust just here.
He's thrown for 222 yards here today. Now it's 2nd down and 10, and they'll come back with Bennett. Bennett slams inside the 35-yard line. There is no question that Edgar Bennett is the #1 running back in Green Bay. I would guess that you could look for Reggie Cobb with his salary to be hitting the highway, and Mr. Bennett is going to get himself a nice raise for night. Wouldn't that be nice? Deserves some cash. He's a good player.
Yeah, what are you, his agent?
Well,
getting a cut or what?
You know,
they make about 5%, don't they? Those guys? Looks like blitz. Oh, they backed out. They bluffed it.
Now Favre stands up tall and complete. And Bennett
throws the difficult ball real well and misses the easy throw right there. He's mad at himself. He's mad at himself right there. Though you have to give some credit to the defensive end and had a good outside rush right there and didn't give him a clean throwing lane to throw at. Look at, he's upset. Here's a guy that missed practice yesterday, and he never does because he ended up in the hospital, what, the night before?
Well, we want to talk about that because that's one of our storylines from earlier in the day. That injured stomach is a result of a horrendous automobile accident that Brett Favre was involved in while he was still in college. That was back in 1990, if I recall. And every now and then there's excruciating pain, and that caused him to miss practice yesterday. And now,
nice job.
Hendrick hangs one high, and it's into the end zone. He could have batted it back had he left the ground. Remember that rule, unlike those in college football. We'll be right back. Have been more productive here in the 2nd half. No question about that. But they still trail it by 3. 13-10. 11:50 to go here in the 2nd half. No question about that. But they still trail it by 3. 13-10. 11:50 to go in the final quarter. And now you see Reggie. He camouflages his spot until the last moment. Then he sets down. The Lions and the coaching staff cannot get a read. Now Craig, knowing where he's set up, makes the call up at the line of scrimmage. Number 92 has been a thorn in their side all game long. They'll try Barry Sanders. He slips the first tackle, and then he slips himself.
Excellent defense by Don Davey, the defensive left end. Awfully good job. He maintained his leverage with his offensive tackle, worked inside out, upfield, and kept pushing Barry to the outside. Linebacker was there. Nice job by Don Davey. That's the way to play that position.
Fewest yards rushing in the playoffs. The Lions with Barry Sanders being held to -9. He's carried 11 times for -5 today. The only number that's important will be his next carry. And now Craig fires more right side, and it was well defended by Doug Evans.
Excellent job by Doug Evans. Boy, what a lot of pressure on a corner trying to cover a guy that fast, that big, and that can leap like he can. Boy, that is a lot of pressure. He does a good job. Now remember, that's the last time he can touch him, ladies and gentlemen. He's got to cover him now. He does a nice job on that. Excellent technique and good coaching by his secondary coach, Dick Jauron.
3rd down. Craig needs 12 yards. Penalty flag is thrown by the umpire, and the play is whistled dead.
Too much time?
Before the snap, false start, number 82 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Coach Fonz. What a good guy to visit with. Really open guy. You ask him a question about his game plan, he gives it to you. He's not concerned about you running off and telling some big secrets on plays. A trustworthy guy and fun to visit with. He's done a good job there, but they're always after his rear end. I mean, he just can't please everybody there. He said, does my locker room seem like a disgruntled locker room? I said, no, I think the morale seems great inside. He says the rumor around town is we're all unhappy.
3rd and 18 for Craig and the Lions. In trouble, steps away from it, and now goes for Perriman, incomplete, and the Lions are forced to punt with 10:51 to go. Scratch that. Let me change that. That was Barry Sanders, 20 and not 80, coming down the sideline.
Reggie White's drawing a crowd there in pass protection. Here's Reggie White, number 92, coming off right there. Freeze it right there. Here's one guy going to block him right there. Now look at the other guy. Bowens is coming over to help. Now there's two guys. Now freeze it. Now there's three helmets. They really like that guy. Boy, I'll tell you, you better put three guys on him.
And now Brooks standing at the Green Bay 45-yard line.
That's a return type ball.
Bounce it to him from the 42. Down at the 49-yard line. A 7-yard return. We'll be back. 10:40 remaining. A pretty productive job. He has caught the ball and handled it about as often as Sharp did in their previous two meetings. The first one down in Milwaukee and the second one over in Detroit. But if you also consider what Sharp meant to Green Bay in last year's playoff win and how high scoring the games were with him in the lineup, you'll see that the whole tenor of this game changes without him. And now on 1st and 10, here's the pitch to Bennett. Bennett slashes inside to the 49-yard line. And let's go down to Leslie.
Brent, you were just talking about what a great job Brooks has done. You probably know he broke all of Sterling Sharp's records at South Carolina, where his nickname was the Shoe-In.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was in Detroit when it was announced that Sharp was injured and not going to play. And I'll guarantee you it influenced the defensive coaching staff at Detroit. I'll tell you, they all of a sudden developed smiles on their faces. And, you know, it's just a few days away from playoff time.
Second down now for the Packers. Favre rolling hard to the right, throws back for a first down, and that time Morgan hangs on to the ball. It's a 13-yard gain and a first down. I'm going to go back on that story. I happen to be talking to Max McGee. He works on the radio broadcast, former great receiver, caught those touchdown passes in Super Bowl I. And Max was saying he thought the rest of these receivers, like Morgan right here, would pick up the slack in the first game when you miss a superstar. He said, I always remember when Paul Hornung wasn't able to play. He said, we'd always kind of like rally around. We always knew we had to play just a little bit harder. And now that might be happening here today on the part of the Green Bay Packers. Certainly the defense has picked up the slack against Barry Sanders. A low-scoring game. And now Favre snaps one, and again, there's Brooks. And inside the 30.
He audibled to that. He saw what he thought was going to be a quarter four deep defense, so he just audibled and threw the quick hitch.
Now there is Sterling Sharp, and in the playoff a year ago, 5 catches for better than 100 yards and those 3 touchdowns, including the game winner. So what happened when you lose the superstar is the Packer coaches said, look, we've got to keep the clock running. We've got to keep the ball out of Barry Sanders' hands. It's better if we play him in a low-scoring game. That has certainly happened here today. With 8:30 to go, it's 13-10. Now Favre, short pass for the first down. He's got Morgan.
See, he's audibling to that, Brent. Detroit has been playing a lot of rolled-up double coverage. Roll the corners up, safeties deep. Now they're backing the corners off, so he is going ahead and audibling to that play and just taking what they give him out there. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. See, normally the corner is line here and the safety's here. Now the corner's backed off, so they're just running a little quick hitch. They don't like to play a lot of this coverage. This is one of the reasons. They feel they're not that strong at the corner position. By rolling the corners up and backing them up with the safeties, they feel stronger.
Now the Packers inside the 20-yard line have a first down at the 17-yard line. And this is Reggie Cobb, and Cobb's going nowhere.
The old lag draw play, a good play by Kelvin Pritchett. I've been impressed with the defensive line, Brent. Those guys have played well. Robert Forshea and those guys, Spindler and they've done their part. They really have. They've done a good, and especially number 91. I see why they say he's their best defensive lineman.
Well, you know, it's interesting that everybody, including you, told me how effective the screen pass was for the Green Bay Packers. It's been virtually non-existent. Spielman blew up that one in the first half, and they really haven't gone back to it. It hasn't been there, has it? Second down now.
It has not been there, but you may see it soon.
12 yards to go. Favre snaps one to Shimura, and and he's inside the 15-yard line where Chris Spielman has the coverage on the tight end. And, of course, a reminder that when we finish, we'll be going back to John Saunders in New York. He's with Boomer Esiason, and they'll set the table for the next one. Kansas City and Joe Montana against Miami and Dan Marino. I'm going to tell you what's going to be tough in that game, folks. It's going to be tough for Miami to beat Kansas City twice in a short time frame. I don't care who it is in the NFL. Coaches, players, you got your hands full if you've got to come back against the same team that you've beaten in a short time frame. That is not easy in this league. 6:26 to go now. Barb dumps Bennett, and Bennett is smacked at the 11-yard line by Johnson.
See, he expected the zone. He wanted to dump it underneath to the running back in the zone. They read it quickly and just jumped on it and swallowed it. No gain. Good job that time by Michael Johnson. A lot of experience at that linebacker position. Excellent, excellent football coach on that screen right there. Great demeanor about him. Real good rapport with the players. He can get really whizzed at him and then be telling them a joke about 5 minutes later. You know,
I love it when you talk dirty to me, Coach.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
he can be on some guy's rear end and chew him up, and then 2 minutes later he's smiling. You know?
45. And here's Jackie. He's going to attempt a 28-yarder. It's good. And the Lions are not necessarily agreeing with the officials down there in the end zone on that call. Spielman is still looking back at the upright, saying, man, that was outside. Take a close look here.
From this angle,
guys, I love you guys.
But I'll tell you,
I love you guys with those lines.
This might be a little better angle.
Don Chandler.
Freeze it right there.
It's on the way.
It's not. It's there. It's good.
Spielman better go get those eyes checked. Those extra lines were, you know, we've got 5:35 to go. And, Dick, if I could be serious for just a moment.
Oh, really? That'll be a change.
That's what I figured.
I've been with you all year. I've been serious once.
You know, I'm going to miss you. No, not seriously. I want to ask you, is there anything new? I know a lot of NFL fans, especially good folks back in Philadelphia, are wondering about your circumstance, what you're going to tell the new owner of the Eagles, and where's your mind right now?
Well, Brent, my mind is right here in this booth, number one. But number two, I haven't talked to Jeffrey since our meeting a week ago. We had 2 3-hour meetings. I really enjoyed it. I went into the first meeting without an interest, developed an interest. Impressive guy. Says what he has in his mind. I liked what he said. I think he's going to be a heck of an owner. He didn't offer me the football coaching job there. He asked me if I'd be interested and consider it. He's going to talk to other people. And that's where it is right now.
Well, there's a short kickoff. And the Lions break it with Eric Lynch.
But getting back to Jeffrey Lurie, regardless of who coaches the football team, I think the guy's going to be coaching for the right kind of guy. He wants to put football people in football responsible positions and let them do the job and then learn as he goes.
Dick, I'm not available as an offensive coordinator.
Well, I know some things you could be in charge of and do a good job at.
First down. The ball is just across midfield. Here we go now. 5:27 and Herman Moore is lined up against Evans with 5:27. Craig fake to Barry Sanders. Now he drops it off. And using his fullback and his tight end, trying to bring the ball down the field with Ty Halleck that time. A 15-yard gain.
We talk about improvisation. What a great job.
Now, Alabama, Ohio State will be in the Comp USA Florida Citrus Bowl on ABC. Monday live, 1 Eastern. And then Keith Jackson, Bob Creasy will be at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Penn State playing Oregon. Dick, you and I will be down in New Orleans, the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, overtime, Florida State and Florida. 4:45, 16-10. Packers lead it by 2 field goals. Here's Sanders. It may have been longest run of the game, and Davey and Butler all over him.
Good discipline, part of the defense. The defensive coaching staff at Green Bay has done an excellent job of the principles they're teaching to try to stop that running game. They haven't changed their defensive fronts. Yes, they've moved the key guy around, moved him over on the defensive right side because that's where they like to run. And he's changed. There's Fritz Shurmur right now. A lot of experience, fine coach. He's been around the league, very much respected by his peers.
Second down.
Flea flicker. And got it.
Underneath, he is forced to throw because of the pressure. He picked up Perriman, but he had the deep man.
He had the deep man. Really, if that would have been executed within rhythm, Herman, man, a little block and go. He had it. They hand the ball off. Right there. Now he starts up inside. He peels back, flips it, but see, the protection breaks down like it does many times in those type of plays, and he couldn't go deep. But Herman had it. Herman went down, bluffed the block, and released into the pattern. He was open.
Now, Dick, it is 3rd and 4. The Lions with 2 downs to pick up the 4 yards. They take 1 and get it done. Reggie Johnson, the tight end, also from Florida State, picks up the 1st down for Detroit.
Here's Holman. They get them all bunched up. A man coming in motion. They have Holman right here and just running right out here in the flat for the 4 yards. Not trying to get 15, not trying to get 20, trying to pick if it's a man, it's not man. But he makes the play. They don't get the pick, but they get the play.
So Johnny Morton, let me correct that. It was Johnny Morton who returned that kickoff for a touchdown against Miami, making that big 1st down play for the Lions. End zone Moore, and the pass hung a bit, allowing Evans to get round and make the play.
They're very, very high on Doug Evans. Very high on his ability. Said he's going to be a fine player there down the road. He's only been around a couple years. You see he's working against one of the great players in the National Football League, and he does a good job of fighting back in, getting his left hand in there and knocking it away.
3:04 to go.
There's Mr. Evans right there. There's Mr. Herman. There's a real good matchup right there.
2nd down and 10. Matthews, 83. Craig wants him. Incomplete. Matthews complaining that he was pushed out of the pattern.
He definitely went out of bounds. Can't come back in and catch it. I still don't understand why they haven't run him on the drop play. I just don't understand that. Here they are. That's Dave Levy right there. Tom Moore, the quarterback coach. And there's the guy praying.
3rd down and 10 for the Lions. Just inside of 3 minutes. Trailing it by 6. Matthews to the 14-yard line. Going to be close.
See, they get in that tight bunch formation, and then they just flush from there. He comes back underneath it, gets him stretched out of there in that zone. They drop him the football. High efficiency passing. Good design by the offensive coaches.
Well, chains out and measure it. At the 2:38 mark and trailing by 6, you know that the Lions know they've got to have the touchdown. The Packers would simply, if they kicked a field goal right here.
Timeout. We're calling timeout right now.
So their season comes down to 1, and we'll remind you that ABC Sports coverage of the NFC Wildcard Playoff game is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. By Home Box Office. by Baked Tostitos. You got Tostitos, you got a party. And the IBM Corporation. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Dick.
You know, you made a comment a couple times in the first half about, you know, they're still in this ball game and Green Bay is dominating, and look at all this. You know, it could be trouble. It could be, and right now they're in big trouble. They allowed them to stay in the football game when they were dominating. You know, now right now, one play and they're behind.
Well, it's amazing how Wayne Fontes and the Lion coaching staff have to feel now that the season's coming down here to one play. They have got to have the first down on this fourth down.
One time I was working as an offensive coordinator for Tommy Crowthrow, and I called the plays, and he said, whenever you're in a critical situation, don't worry about the play you call. Just give it to your best football player. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Would you give it to Barry Sanders?
Well, he's not a great short yardage running back because he breaks away from point of attack so many times. But they have him in the backfield now. I think I'd give it to him.
Let's see what the Lions elect to do on fourth down. Craig keeps it. Craig goes for it himself. That in itself is a tribute to the Green Bay defense. They did not want to hand the ball to number 20. That's how much he's been dominated here this afternoon. And Craig, on a quarterback sneak, appears to have gotten the first down.
David Craig has never been given credit for how good a football player he is. Kansas City Chiefs wanted to sign him to 2 years. He didn't want to sign 2 years. That's why he went to Detroit.
You know what's interesting here, Dick, is that in their first meeting, when Scott Mitchell was injured and Craig took over and stepped up the tempo, I remember late in that game in County Stadium that on a fourth down play, Craig threw an incompletion in the end zone. And now here he is in the playoffs. 2.5 minutes. We're moved up to the north to Green Bay. And Craig has got a chance to pay this one off. This is 1st and 10. The ball is at the Packers' 14-yard line. Matthews turns back. 3 wide receivers are to the left. And Craig will look off in that side, come back to the middle, and throw it incomplete. He threw it away.
They tried that same bunch formation, and it just flushed out of there. They couldn't get a good decision just to throw the ball away. Here's what I'm talking about. All bunched up there. They end up with 3 receivers, and then they just flush, just like this. And excuse my poor drawing like that. But see, he wants to throw it to him, and it's not there. He's got a defender right here on him. No place to go. He throws it out of the back of the end zone.
They're going to package the receivers the same way unless they bring Matthews in motion. Now they do bring him down. And he'll turn back. Gives him an overload on the left-hand side. And they'll run Barry Sanders. Sanders looking for daylight is stopped at the 11-yard line. Evans hanging on.
That was the draw play. But Don Davey, 99, got his foot as he got up in there. He had the draw. If he didn't stumble. Real good job by Don Davey, number 99. Left side of your screen. He grabs his foot right there. See, just tripped him up just enough to break up the play.
The 2-minute warning. We'll be right back. With go, the league's leading rusher, one of the greatest years ever in the NFL. He has now carried 13 times for no yards. That's right, 0 yards. And yet here we are. Barry Sanders could still wind up being the hero. The Lions could pull this one out. And how big is it now that Jason Hanson missed a field goal back in the first half? The Lions would be trailing by only 3 right now. On the Packer side of the story defensively, there stands for Mike Holmgren, number 92, Reggie White down there in the middle of that defense, wanting to make one more big play. We're coming up now with a huge 3rd down and 7 for Dave Craig, the survivor, and the Detroit Lions.
They're probably going to try to get the ball to Herman Moore. They can make a first down without scoring, too, Brent. Remember that.
Craig looking Moore's direction. He's covered, and Craig is sacked at the 17. Bryce Pop.
the ultimate overachiever is how the coaches describe Bryce Pop. Not the most talented, but one of the big givers on this football team. Plays linebacker, and in the nickel, he rushes as a defensive end. Very versatile guy, coming tough to the outside. 95 does a stunt, freeze it right there. See, he started outside, came back underneath. They had a cross charge. They didn't pick it up properly, and here he comes up in there clean. Good effort, good movement, gets after it. Big, big play.
And now the Lions use a timeout.
Here's what the quarterback's looking at as he gets back there. He's looking downfield, see to his left, the rush is coming. He can't see it to avoid it. Now he sees it, too late, too late. Barry Sanders tried to help him pick it up inside there, Brent, but he didn't see it quick enough. Good defensive stunt, cross charge. Used to call that a Rex.
Craig and the Lions have come to 4th down. Meanwhile, Reggie White and Bryce Pop getting ready for what could turn out to be their last big play of the season, or if they hold up, they'll move on down the road. Doesn't get any bigger than this for a defense. 4th and 13 right now. The Lions can get a first down inside the 4 at about the 3. Craig has Moore over to the right, matched against Evans. Craig with a quick drop, throws to the Moore, jumps in the air, he's out of the end zone. Out of the end zone and incomplete. The Packers take over.
Well, they went to the right guy.
What the Lions are thinking right now is that Herman Moore was pushed out of the back of the end zone. The Lions are insisting that this should have been a legal catch. You take a look at it now on the replay. Moore is coming right to left, right over the middle. He's got it. Teague is wrapped up with him in the air.
That's a good call.
And he's out of bounds.
That's
and
a good
I
call.
would agree with you, Dick.
Yeah, it's a good call.
There it is, 1 foot.
He would have come down out of bounds with nobody on him, with no pressure on him, no push, no hit. He'd have come down out of bounds.
Now the storyline is Brett Favre and the Green Bay offense. They hand to Bennett. All they have to do now is just hang on to the ball. The Lions are down to 1 timeout remaining. Let's check this from a reverse angle.
Ball coming down. There's left side of your screen. See, now he's got possession of the ball. He's coming down. See, he would have come down out of bounds. The defender did not force him out. But I'll tell you this, Herb Patera and his defensive staff have done an outstanding job today. Right at you, ladies and gentlemen. Fine football player going up there. Look at him lead.
Now on the other side, we want to switch back to the Brett Favre story. Because here's a young quarterback, and there were some doubters about him. He threw too many interceptions when his career started. He has come back this year to throw 33 touchdown passes. Yesterday, because of serious stomach pain, he passed up the last practice. He has played this game without his security blanket, Sterling Sharp. He has played it with his usual determination and vigor. It has been a struggle. The Packers scored on their first drive of the game, and then they have been handled fairly well in this game. They lead in yardage, but they didn't get the ball into the end zone like they wanted to, as the Lion defense has come after them here today.
But nobody would believe that this game would be this close if Barry Sanders had no yards rushing. Nobody would believe that would be close. But I don't believe the man we just saw there, the coach, Mike Holmgren, believe it, and I don't think Barry would believe it. Great, great football player. You know, the term great is used too many times in the National Football League because they're all darn good players. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 13 carries, no yards. Give Fred Shermer and his defensive coaching staff a tremendous coaching job.
50-some seconds, and Bennett. Now, for Barry Sanders, that is his lowest total ever rushing since he joined the Detroit Lions. And he is coming off a season in which, remember, a week ago, everybody was talking about, will he be the next 2,000-yard runner? The Dolphins kept him away from that goal. Then he came in against a team in which he rushed for better than 180 yards the last time he played them. The weather came up for Barry Sanders. A dry track, sunshine, no rain, and yet he has been held to his lowest total ever. The Green Bay Packers are 7 seconds away from moving on to their next game. And remember, they got that far a year ago and they were beaten by the Dallas Cowboys. Without Sterling Sharp, it gets tougher and tougher with each passing week for this team.
And without a better running attack, they have to be able to run the football better than they ran the ball today. But you've got to give credit to Herb Patera and his defensive coaching staff. The Detroit people did it. Both defensive staffs did real good jobs today.
And there's Sterling Sharp across the way.
Coach Bonds.
A very disappointing ending for the Lions. They were able to pick it up, came through Thanksgiving in good shape, and now they close out. They could have had a home playoff game. They couldn't get the job done down at Miami. Now they come in here, and for the second straight year, they are going to lose again. Well, the Lions will be going all out to block this punt, and now the one thing you've got to wonder, would Hendrick ever turn around, run into the end zone, run out the clock, and step out of bounds?
I think they'll go ahead and punt. There's no guarantees. They're in a tight punt formation.
Well, they better be careful of Mr. Gray back here. He might have one more miracle up his sleeve. Here goes Hendrick into the end zone. Let the clock come down. Now he'll step. Now he's going to go out of bounds and take the safety.
Game's over. Yeah, he did it.
They were not going to give Gray a chance, and look out down in that corner. Tempers have been flaring in this game. And there's some pushing and shoving.
That's stupid.
And the Lions have to be careful because some of the fans will reach down over the stands. Let's go down to Leslie.
Emotional game, never beaten at home in the playoffs. Mike Holcomb, how did you win this game?
I don't know. We had a little bit of luck, and the guys played very hard. I can't say enough about our defense, really. Anytime you play like that against the greatest runner, really, I think, in football, you've had a great game, and they responded at the end.
It was Barry Sanders' worst game of his career. What did you do to stop him?
Well, I don't know. You know, I don't think you ever really stop him. The field didn't help him, I don't think, and then our defense, I just can't give them enough credit. They really played a good football game.
And there is life without Sterling Sharp?
Well, yeah, I feel very, you and I talked earlier, I miss him a lot, and so does the team. But I was proud of Anthony Morgan and Robert Brooks, Mickens, and those guys. They played hard.
Excellent effort all around. On to Dallas or San Francisco. Thank you, Mike. Back to you.
Leslie, I want to make sure that everybody understands the final score. That's what's important here. They took the safety, and it is 16-12. That is the final score of the game now. Green Bay wins it as Hendrick runs out the clock and takes the safety. And a reminder now that the NFL mid-game report is coming up next here on ABC Sports. Coming up next on ABC, it'll be Kansas City and Miami. For Leslie Visser and Dick Vermeil, I'm Brent Musburger. So long from Green Bay.